Howdy, fuckers, and welcome to this week's episode of the Western Grunge Tapedeck. This week's episode is brought to you by Bad Decisions, as always. Kit Kats and Cadillacs. We have a very special episode planned tonight. We sat down with Kat Hasty and discussed the music scene, what she has going on, and a bunch of other stuff. So sit back, crack another cold beer, and relax, and enjoy this week's episode, an interview with Kat Hasty.
Hey guys, my name is Kat Hasty. I am a country singer from West Texas, and I'm excited to be on the podcast today.
So, Kat, you were just on tour. You just got off tour like a week ago, maybe, with Cohesiveness. So that had to be huge. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
It was great. The biggest crowd we played for was about 8,600 people, and they were very rowdy. Coetzel's crowds are there to party. They're definitely a little bit different than a lot of the festival crowds I played before, because it was kind of set up like a festival in some places. A lot of the venues were outdoors, and we played at that Big Sky Brewing venue in Montana, and it was very much like a festival. Everyone was, on blankets and just kind of hanging out. And that was the chillest one we played, was that day. But everywhere else, I played in Vegas with Coast, so that was very rowdy. But it was cool. I mean, it was a lot of people. I got to play for big crowds, so I was excited I got to go out with them.
I love that TikTok that you posted up of you sitting there screaming, "How are we doing?" And you're like, "They can't even hear me." I love that. That had me dying.
It was funny, but honestly, I feel like I looked stupider than I actually was, because people had been yelling at me the whole time. Until I made the video, everybody had turned around, and I was like, oh, wow, they are not paying attention to me anymore.
Left you high and dry.
Yeah.
And so, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into music, coming from West Texas, kind of what that was like?
Starting in West Texas, most of my music career started just doing stuff by myself. Like, I recorded my first EP with Shay Abshire in a bathroom in an apartment, and that was kind of what made my career take off. It was just an acoustic EP. It had pretty things on it, and that was like actually insane. Y'all, I had no freaking money. I saved up for a computer and a microphone, driving Uber in Midland, Texas, driving oil filled people to the airport all day. And I saved up, bought that, recorded it for nothing. I think a guy named Sean Siegler, I believe is his name, mastered it for like $100. That might not be right, but like super cheap, like nothing. And then Pretty Things went viral, and it like changed my life. I was not ready to play huge stages. I got a check for like more money than my parents' income combined. Like, it was just crazy. It was life-changing, and it was like, whoa. And then I had a kid, and I was like, what the hell do I do? And so for the last 4 years, I've pretty much been trying to figure out what to do with my newly found platform and connections that I made pretty much overnight.
Yeah, I know whenever you released the vinyl for it, me and Tracer were talking back and forth, and we were so excited to get it. It's just a lot of the things that, us kind of people who are in the smaller country, lesser known world, we really kind of love that acoustic sound of just like there's hardly anything to it, and I love it. It is one of those albums that just stays on repeat around here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think I kind of got lucky. Like, I feel like it was kind of talent, but it was also a lot of luck. It was like during a period where people really wanted that raw acoustic sound. Like, I feel like Zach Bryan got really, really big during that era right there. And a lot of people were just like searching for that. And I honestly think it was like a God thing. It was kind of crazy. It happened. It really changed my life. So,
Not to nerd too much out on your vinyl, but it because sometimes it's really hard with acoustic vinyls to get them to sound correct when they're pressing them. But yours is like spot on. It's like just like streaming it. It is perfect.
Really? Well, I'm
that's
glad.
my nerd stuff.
I'm glad to hear that. that was not my doing. That was the doing of the company. So good job to them.
Props to them.
Yeah. I just want to throw that out there.
So
Yeah,
one of my biggest questions is, what kind of made you want to come to music, songwriting and your sound? Like, what influenced you the most?
What influenced me the most? Y'all, this is something I realized really recently. So when I put that EP out, I feel like I went country because it was just acoustic, and where I live and everything, like there was really only country musicians and stuff around me. And I feel like a lot of people threw me in this like super like traditional country kind of thing. I don't know, that's like what they expected out of me, but I feel like I just realized this. I really like rock and roll, and I feel like all of my favorite country bands, I like them because they're rock and roll. Like Whiskey Myers, Stapleton, Miranda Lambert's got a lot of cool rockin' stuff. Bob Dylan was my earliest influence. I grew up pretty much like on rock, and so this next album, I'll tell y'all a secret. My next album is coming out. I'm finishing it in like the next week or two. It's got some pretty traditional country stuff. Like it's got one song that's like very Ernest Tubb country. But after that, I'm going rock and roll.
Breaking
I'm
news.
going like full rock and roll. So,
Look at us over
I'm
here.
excited about that.
That's
I'm
awesome to
really
hear.
excited.
Big fans of that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks. What
So-
about y'all? Are y'all full on country? Are y'all like, what do y'all like? Tell me.
Ooh,
Or just, I know it'll be kind of confusing asking all three of you, but three of you, or
Well,
each one of you, give me three of your favorite artists outside of country.
outside of country.
Yes.
Ooh.
It's
So
really on
like
the spot.
ragweed is.
Are y'all all super into country? Is this like y'all's favorite thing?
pretty
Pretty
much.
much.
Then just tell me your favorite three country artists.
Ooh. Cross Canadian ragweed. Turnpike Troubadours.
Okay, rock and roll. See, that's like my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Turnpike is my go-to, and
Okay.
then man, a third one's tough. I've been listening to a lot of Silverado, Mike and the Moonpies lately.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go with Silverado, Mike and the Moonpies.
Cool.
Gage,
What
you
about
gotta go
you?
next.
Oh man,
Oh,
I
no,
can't
okay.
follow that up. I'm trying.
All right. So I always say like my big three or my big four, just most commonly known if I'm talking to most people have open-ended what kind of music do you like? I am often listening to a lot of Turnpike, a lot of Zach Bryan, a lot of Tyler Childers, Wyatt Flores a lot recently, Flatland Cavalry, but yeah, definitely more into the Texas country scene right now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
What about you?
I'm sitting here trying to think outside the box and not give duplicate answers. Um,
Well, just be
one of them.
honest.
Well, I mean, I think who I listen to the most and music wise, like really moved and pushed by,
Uh-huh.
would be Dano Simpson.
Okay.
Another
I've been
one.
hearing about Dano a lot lately. I need to go listen to his.
Yes.
Library.
I found him at pretty much the start and been riding side by side with him and built a friendship and a connection. So very grateful of that. But who would be another one? Wyatt Flores. Very into the emotional mental health kind of side of a lot of things that I love what he's doing. And another one. I'm not gonna say Turnpike because yeah, everybody knows Turnpike.
What about your Quells?
Yeah. Now that they're back together and rocking and rolling, I'll throw them out there. The damn Quails.
Oh, I didn't know they were back together. Did they release anything, or are they just playing again?
They released a live album. I want to say back in March, but so you have Brian White, and then you had Gabe Marshall on those first 2 albums. Gabe has kind of split ways. So now it's Brian White. I know they have Austin Meads, old drummer, who had recently joined the band. He was there whenever I saw him back in March. So
Nice.
that's all I know of. But yeah, a lot of their music kind of is what I grew up on, and really looking back at it now, I'm like, damn, little old me knew good music. Shout out to my dad. So
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, your dad's who got you into music?
all I can remember is just sitting in the car seat, turning on 95.9, the ranch, and just, it was back then, it was like straight Texas, Oklahoma country, red dirt. So you had Ragweed, Randy Rogers. I mean, the list can go on. So that's kind of where I got a love for music and kind of what we have down here as a community.
That is so cool. I love that. Is that who got y'all into music, your dads? Or did y'all branch into country music on your own, Alison? And
Yeah, I didn't even really get to country music until like post college when I moved to Central Kansas, just because those were the kind of artists that were playing out there. So it's been within the past like 5 or 6 years for me. I have always listened to country, but I was definitely more in an alternative rock kind of scene before that.
cool. I like that.
I was introduced to ragweed around the time I turned like 11 or 12.
Nice.
And I was like, this is it. And then I didn't ever really get into it until like late 2017.
Okay.
I found Turnpike, Whiskey Myers, and then just kind of branched off into this like world of country music that wasn't on the radio. And I've been there ever since.
Nice. I love it.
Which, real quick sidebar, Gage and I met for the very first time. We went and saw you, Wyatt Flores, and Evan Honer at Kane's Ballroom back in February.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Y'all gotta come back to another show. Someone passed out during that show, and
Yeah.
I had so much anxiety for the rest of my set. And then I forgot the words on stage with Wyatt. No.
You
Y'all
still
gotta
did
come
great.
to another show.
The
For sure.
the first show I went to was, I believe, of yours. It was last year in Denver, maybe. You had Nate Frederick opening up for you.
Oh, no way.
So,
that was a good
yeah,
one. Okay. I'm trying to remember that venue.
I
Do you know the
cannot.
name?
I couldn't remember it to save
Is
my
it the
life.
Grizzly Rose?
No, it wasn't there.
Mm.
It was like they had
Yeah.
like a bar restaurant downstairs, and then upstairs was like music, like the little
Okay, and it was
venue
like
and
wood
everything.
floors and like did it have
Yes.
like wood? Okay, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that was like a good
that
show.
was,
The crowd was
so-
great that night, and Nate Frederick is awesome too. That was the first time I
Yes.
met him. Was on that run.
Yeah, he really kicked off the show very well, and then of course you came in there and did West Texas things and burn it down, and I loved it. I told my boss, because I used to travel working, and I think I called him like that morning. I was like, hey, we're going to this show. You don't have a say in it. And he's like, okay.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, we had a great time.
that's awesome. Well, thank you for coming.
Of course.
All right, what else y'all got?
Yeah, so speaking of kind of going around to these different shows and tour life, road life, what's that like for you? Especially, does your daughter come on the road with you often, or are you traveling a lot? Is it mostly weekends, full tours?
Y'all, the last 2 years of my life have been so damn stressful. So actually, this tour with Co was my last tour I have planned until probably, I don't want to say anything for sure. This is not like for sure, but I probably won't tour for a couple years. I think I'm going to play probably on weekends and stuff, but so the first year of me really touring, she came with me, and my bass player had a girlfriend who's one of my best friends, and she would nanny basically. But having a 4-year-old in a car for 5 hours is like no fun. And then, I had to leave her for this co-tour, and that's no fun either. And so, there's so many moms that reach out and they're like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing your thing. Like, how do you do it? And I'm like, it's not easy. It's not easy. Like, I think, she's so little right now. I'll probably take some time to write and record and stuff. And then when she gets older and she can come on the road and like understands what's going on and can, draw in the car or something to keep her busy, then I'll probably try to take her again. Or shit, if I ever get it big enough to tour in a bus, then maybe it's practical, but babies don't belong in sprinters, so. But I mean, it's been fun, but it's been hard. I really, right now in my career, I think I really want to focus more on just writing and recording and kind of aesthetically making my brand. Maybe I want to get into podcasting. So when I get up to DFW, I plan on starting a podcast that's for other artists. Okay, I'll tell y'all. This will be the first time I've ever talked about this, okay? So my plan for my podcast is I want to interview people on their family life on the road, sobriety on the road, and, how they've made it practical for their lives. Because this touring is just so impractical to me. It's like, it's crazy how hard it is. Being on the road, not sleeping, having kids. If I had, anybody who has a husband, anybody who has kids, anybody who has problems with alcohol, it's like, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you do this and you're happy, honestly. And so I know a couple musicians that are dads, and, I want to know, how does your wife support you? How do you manage this around your kids? Are they coming with you? How do you make that feasible for their school? Like, and there's a lot of artists that are dealing with sobriety. And this podcast is for me, pretty much. It's like, give me the answers that I need in my life, while probably also helping a lot of other small musicians figure out how to navigate the music industry. So.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's something we talked about last night, was like loading out after a concert and like how tough that is. Because I've helped a couple times load a couple different artists out. And I mean, like, it's bang, bang. You're trying to get out as fast as you can. And it's a lot of work all at once. But that's something we wanted to talk about also, is that your sobriety, sobriety out on the road. What's that like? What got you there? If you're open to talking about that.
I'm open to talking about it, but I haven't been very sober lately. So I was sober for a year. And honestly, that was the best thing I ever did for myself, was getting sober. My skin was clearer. I felt better. I had a decrease in depression, anxiety. I lost weight. I woke up every day feeling good. I didn't feel, it was great. But honestly, sometimes when you're on the road and you're the only one that's sober, it's just boring. Like, it's just not that fun. And so I've probably drank 4 or 5 times this year. And I guess I'm really just learning how to be moderate with it, And that's been hard. Because honestly, I would like to be sober, but Tori, I don't have the answers. That's why I'm making my own podcast. So I'll let y'all know when I have an answer to that question.
Okay.
Man, it's a whole culture, and I mean it's late nights, it's every weekend. I totally feel you. It's all a personal journey for sure, and I don't think anybody really has the answer necessarily, but I'll definitely be tuning into your podcast because I'm curious to see what everybody else says.
Definitely, yeah, me too.
Another question that I have is, you just got off tour with Coetzel and everything. Who is one of the favorite, like, your favorite artists that you've ever opened up for? Like, whether it's the most fun or meant the most to you?
Wyatt Flores is so sweet. He's so sweet. He's such a nice guy. And I'm so glad to see. I feel like, in a sense, he's kind of the underdog. He's like just a normal guy. And to see his massive success has been like mind-blowing, and I'm so happy for him. And I've done a couple shows with him, so I'm always happy to see him and say hi and get to watch his shows. Now, as far as the best concert and like most incredible experience, I would definitely say that would be Zach Bryan. The first Zach Bryan concert. Oh, well, I didn't even open for him. I just went to one of his shows. But, dude, it was crazy. Like, it was so insane. I had never experienced a concert like that. Everybody knew every single word to every single one of his songs. And it was like an insane energy that I've never witnessed elsewhere.
So that,
What year was
that would
that?
probably be
anyone
the
else I want to promote. Let me see if there's anyone else I want to promote. Oh my gosh. Maggie Antone just put out her new album. And so we actually went on the first time she had ever headlined. It's really pretty crazy. Maggie's journey over the last year is really pretty crazy. Because when I first met Maggie, she was playing like patio gigs and just kind of playing locally. And she was so nervous. We did a co-headline tour, and it was her first time to headline. She was so nervous, and she never played for really like a bunch of people. And she went out there, and you would never have known. Like, I truly believe Maggie's going to be like the Taylor Swift of country music. She's going to be huge. Like, the performance part of it is built into her. So, yeah, she's awesome.
I remember watching her TikTok lives of her like playing at hotels and everything, and then seeing it. It was kind of like the way it looked like from at least my perspective was like you kind of just like took her under your wing. You know, you went mama mode, and then y'all just hit it running. So it seems like y'all built a really good friendship.
We definitely have. I think. Oh gosh, I feel I may be older, but she's way more in the industry than I am. She definitely she moved to Nashville. When I had met her, she was in Virginia, and then she moved to Nashville, and it was like, there she goes. Now she just released her debut, and I feel like she's about to like really blow up. So, hell yeah,
that's awesome to hear for sure. Yeah, we were all talking about her album last week. We had a good time kind of listening to that.
Did y'all listen to it together?
No, I think we kind of just all throughout our Fridays are crazy. We just get to each one as we go, sometimes in different orders, but yeah, we try to listen to as much as we can on Fridays.
Oh yeah, cool.
With all of us living in different areas, our group chat just goes on all day long of like random thoughts that people are having throughout their workday, because like we all work full-time jobs, and so like I'll like be in I do service work, so I'll be in a customer's house and my phone is just sitting there buzzing, and they're like, "Do you need to take that?" And like, "No, I'll look at it later." And they're like 30 messages. So it's like Gage just blowing up about. So it's always like a journey every day.
That's awesome. I love that. So have you always all done this together?
Yeah. So I originally started this with another guy. We met through Twitter.
Okay.
And he's like, hey man, we should start a podcast. And I didn't really want to do it at first. And then I was like, all right, we'll try it. And then due to unforeseen circumstances, he had to step away to deal with like life stuff. And in the meantime, I met Gage, met Alison through Twitter. And so Gage came on with me first, and then we brought Alison on as well because, well, she kind of balances out Gage and I on episodes when we get a little too unhinged.
Nice.
So she brings like a nice balance to us, but this is about a month of this crew rolling. So
hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun over here, and it's just a place for us to kind of disconnect. The way I see it is I can disconnect from the world and sit here and just talk about my love for music. And like at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. And I feel like I ramble on too much to like other people talking about music. And it's like the other guy that used to be on here, Brennan, he was like, it's a good thing you're on a music podcast. He's like, you can't talk enough about it. So
I love that. That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
You're meant to do it.
It's a book club for albums, pretty much. Instead of like reading a book, we listen to an album and then discuss the album every week. So
That's awesome.
It's our version of book club.
Aw, I'm glad y'all found each other to do that with. That's adorable.
Oh.
Man, so speaking of Twitter and whatnot, so I saw that you recently converted to the flip phone life.
Okay, actually, I literally made a whole post about switching to a flip phone, and then Verizon wouldn't release my number to AT&T, which the phone is on, and oh my god, y'all. My dad is so embarrassing. He literally goes into, because I was going to go to Cricket, and they wouldn't take the phone, because I already bought the phone off Amazon. And then my dad was like raising hell. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this hillbilly out of here. And then, so I went over to AT&T to go get it switched, and Verizon wouldn't release my number to them. And so then I went on tour, and I just got back, and I've been busy. But I actually am. I have the phone somewhere around me. I'm gonna bedazzle it, and then I'm gonna go turn it on. So I'll have to let y'all know how that goes soon, because the last 3 weeks since I posted that have flown by. But yes, I will be transitioning to a flip phone soon. But it has Spotify and it has Google Maps.
That's
all
an
you
advanced flip phone,
I
man.
won't be missing
Dude,
out.
if it has Spotify, I can go back to a flip phone. That is no issue whatsoever. That's
Hold
about
on.
the only
Let's
thing I
go
use.
find this really quick.
I could just see me and you just having flip phones, just like everybody's on their, big ass iPhones, whatever, and we're just flip phone and like video in a concert. Like, hell yeah!
It's gonna be that 1080p quality.
Oh,
Oh god, man, flip phones are kind of expensive though.
I didn't even know like Caterpillar made flip phones. I thought that was very interesting.
So my grandma called me like a month ago and was like, "Hey, I went and got a flip phone."
Here's my new flip phone. And it's built for construction workers. So it's literally like, they say you can chunk it off a one-story building and it'll survive. But let me see if it'll turn on.
Have you tested that theory
has
yet?
a big screen, and you can actually type on here and stuff.
Oh, does it have a full keyboard?
So it doesn't have apps, and that's like the main thing, is that I don't want to scroll Instagram. I don't want to sit and scroll Twitter while I'm out, I just want to stop looking at my phone every 5 seconds when I'm out of my house. So.
Feel that for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. So are you well versed in T9, or does it have a full keyboard on it?
It has the full keyboard where you can like touch the screen, yeah. But I'm a T9 texter for sure. My first phone was a flip phone, so
the BlackBerry. I got a BlackBerry in middle school, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then I think my first smartphone was like my sophomore year of high school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a BlackBerry. I thought I was so rich. My dad used to get everything off eBay. My dad, I swear to God, he was like the first user of eBay ever. Like, he was on eBay before eBay was even a thing, and he would always buy us cheap stuff off of there.
I feel like that's the way Tracer is. Tracer is an eBay connoisseur over here.
Are you?
I know how to find.
Yeah.
I bought a signed Ragweed CD off a guy for $20 on there. I've bought all of my all my Ragweed CDs I have. I've not paid more than $5 for all of them combined. Just like finding them like dirt cheap at the end of an auction.
Dude, that's sick. Because honestly, those are rare. Like, I can't imagine they made that many of them, and they haven't been together in forever. So that's pretty cool.
Right. I have 4 or 5 left to find, and I'm being a cheapskate about it intentionally. Like, I could 100% like go out and get them, no problem. But I'm just being a cheapskate to see how little money I can spend. Because currently I have 5 CDs, and I have $13 into it. So if I can get the whole, if I can get all 10 CDs for under $20, that's my goal. So
nice.
Sitting on a fortune mine.
Wait, so you collect CDs? You have a lot of CDs?
I have a lot of. We all are kind of into vinyl. Vinyl's my big thing. And then I recently got into CDs for like the early 2000s, late 90s albums that you can't really find on vinyl, for the ability to be able to listen to them, because like as you were talking about, like with your getting off of your smartphone, didn't go into a flip phone. I use it as like my disconnect. So like I'll put on like some type of physical media, whether that be cassette, vinyl, CD, and then I put my phone down. I don't look at my phone. I just like clean, take a break, watch the ceiling fan spin, whatever I need to do in that time. And that's kind of like my break from reality.
Dude, I love that. And it just gave me the idea to start using CDs in my car instead of Spotify while I have my flip phone. Yeah. I don't own any CDs, I don't think. So that's a great idea.
Any like if you go to like any of the record shops, anywhere, you can always find like random
We
country
don't
CD.
have a record shop in this town.
I can vouch. I got a lot of family out that way.
Have you been here?
Yes.
Wait, what'd you say, Gage?
I have a lot of family out that way. Abilene, Trent, Ty, all that area.
Oh, no way. My manager's from Ty.
Oh, really?
That's a small town. They probably know each other. Yeah.
Most likely. But yeah, so
have y'all ever been out here?
I haven't been further west than Austin, I guess. So not in Texas.
Okay.
I went to Texas one time for a Cowboys game, and that's the only time I've ever been to Texas. So.
Wait, where? Oh, you're in Oklahoma. You've only been to Texas once?
No,
You're
it's crazy.
so close.
Yeah. I know.
We're trying to get him back down here.
I know. Well, you gotta come down to DFW.
You know,
Well, I'll be there.
So
we need to get like a creator like hype house. Where always all of us just all together. That way we can all record in person.
Well, I'll tell y'all another secret. When I move to DFW, I'm getting a residency at a bar, and it's like 100 people capacity, and I'm going to start throwing parties. And so basically I'm going to sell tickets as like a host for parties, and the first one's going to be Halloween, and we're going to have the Halloween contest. We're going to alcohol will be included with your ticket, and I don't have all of it worked out yet, but I think it'll be a really cool way to have all my friends together, and then actually get to meet some fans and stuff, because a lot of the thing with with living out here in West Texas is I feel so disconnected from my fan base. Like, I go and play shows, and then I really get on the road and go home, and so I don't get to talk to a lot of my fan base. And I want to throw these small parties, because it's overwhelming if it's too many people. But if I can get about 75 people that are ticketed, and then 15 of my friends, kind of have a party and just get to hang out with everybody and feel more connected to my fan base, and know what they like, know what they want, know about who they are, So y'all have to come.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yes, that's a great time for sure.
Yeah.
I'll dress as Tracer for the Halloween.
Oh, you just gotta get the.
I'll start growing.
Just get you a long hair
growing
wig.
my hair out now again.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely planning on being in town for Halloween. Definitely have to check that out. So we'll have another podcast get together for sure.
Yeah, add a group chat with me in it.
There we go.
I would love to know more about what's going on in country music, because I just like to know about what y'all are listening to and stuff. So
yeah, no, we talk about it every week, and I don't know if you can keep up. On your flip phone, you'd be trying to text as fast as you can, trying to keep up with whatever Gage is ranting on about at the moment.
True. Y'all would have to have a green group message.
That's fine. You can be an exception. Everybody else got to be blue.
I know. I have one band member that has an Android, and so our group message is green. And so if you send one message and then everybody likes it, it's 5 messages saying Dylan liked this, Mills liked this. It's so annoying to have a green group message.
Yep.
But
That's the way my family group chats are, because I think out of my entire family, my dad is the only one, and the reason he won't switch to iPhone is because Android has just the flip phone, and they have the indestructible ones. He goes, them iPhones are too damn expensive, and I'd break that shit too easily, blah, blah, blah. All right, dude.
He's so valid.
So
Also, that's another reason that I'm trying to switch to a flip phone, though, is to like prioritize phone calls. Because sometimes I feel like I would have more meaningful conversations with my friends if I didn't text them random shit all day. You know? Like, I think, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I might get too far behind the times and then I'll hate it, but we'll see.
That's always worth a try, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
no,
Go ahead.
my dad has one of those Caterpillar smartphones, and recently he went and visited my uncle, and they ran it over with the side by side for whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Is it the same
Ran it
phone?
over. His is like a smartphone. Like yours was like a flip phone, but his is like it's like thick. It is thick.
Yeah.
But anyways, for whatever reason, they decided to run it over with the side by side. So they ran it over with the side by side, and it's still fine. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to an iPhone now." And I was like, "Dude, you can't even make a call on it. It drops every other call." But he's had it for like 4 years.
I didn't even think about that happening on my flip phone. What if it just sucks? What
No,
if I
like-
can't even use it?
I'll call him, and I'll be talking to him, and then you'll just hear beep, and you have to wait for him to call me back, and then it'd be like, I'm like, well, where was I at when you lost me? Because I kept talking for another 30 seconds before I heard the beep. So hopefully that doesn't
That's
happen with you, but that's
funny.
my experience.
Now,
It might happen. People are gonna be so annoyed with me. I feel like people are pre-mad at me for getting a smartphone. They're like, now our group text gotta be green. Now I'm never gonna be able to get a hold of you. Now you're never gonna check your email.
with it being the cat phone, the CAT, are you gonna paint over it or bedazzle it to where it's KAT?
I should bedazzle it KAT.
I think you should.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
But another question that I was wondering is, what is your favorite venue that you've played, and what's your dream venue that you want to play at?
Oh, I know I have an answer to this. One venue, Calf Fry in Oklahoma has been. No, I'm sorry, not. Is it Calf Fry? Yeah, Calf Fry's in Stillwater, right?
Mhm.
Yep, that's the
Okay,
one.
I always get Tilly Fest and Calf Fry messed up. Calf Fry has like the best hospitality. They are always checking on us. They're always doing everything for us. It's always like some festivals are ran so crazy. Like you show up, you wait 2 hours after when your sound check was supposed to be, and just things are like super hectic. Calf Fry has always been really good to us. They've always been very hospitable. Like they always have like a runner asking us if we need anything and just making sure we're taken care of. And that is awesome. So I've always loved playing there. I'm trying to think. There's been a lot of venues that were really good to us, so I want to shout them out. Let me see. Maybe I can think of some. Billy Bob's. Billy Bob's is awesome. That was one of the greatest nights of my career.
Wait, you've already played there?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was crazy.
That one's on me.
It was really
Damn.
awesome. And do what?
I had no idea, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I played there, I think it was last October. And my family came. We had 48 people in the green room. I had so much friends and family come out. It was super fun. And then, but they've been super good to me. And I'm actually shooting, undisclosed information, I am shooting a music video this weekend. And it will be shot at Billy Bob's. So
looky there.
That's exciting.
Exciting.
So Billy Bob's is awesome. Man, if I think of one while we're doing this, because there's been so many venues, like, some venues don't care. Some venues are like, we want our money, and then we don't care what happens to you. But other venues really, like, take the time to send thank you cards and, like, take the time to, introduce themselves to you, like the manager or the talent buyers and things like that. And that means a lot to me, and I obviously have forgotten it right now, but if I thought of a venue, I would not forget that they did that, and I would be, that means a lot. So, and it's another one of those things that makes you feel really connected to your career, because sometimes you just feel like you're playing shows, and you're just on the road, and you're just driving, and you play a show, and you leave, and then it's things like that, venues like that make you feel connected to, like, the people that you're doing it for, so.
Yeah,
Love
for
that.
sure.
I'll make y'all a list. I'll make y'all this.
Yeah, no, we'd love to. We
Promote it
always want to
later.
hear about. We always want to hear about everybody's favorite venues.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm biased. I love to go to Kane's Ballroom and see a show.
I was actually about to say I loved Kane's, but that was not a good show for me. So, but that's not on the venue. That's on whoever passed out, and then me feeling super, super anxious, and then me forgetting the words. I was getting roasted. Did y'all see that?
No.
I forgot the words.
Mm-mm.
Wyatt invited me up to sing Please Don't Go, and I forgot the words, and then somebody videoed it, put it on TikTok, and they were like, that bitch didn't even know the words.
Oh my god!
I did. I was having a bad night.
I think there were like 2 people that passed out. There was like 2 or 3
That was
times where the show had to
And
stop.
wondering why.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if it was.
Well-
yeah, that was rough.
So, on the day of that show, I was still at work. I got called in. I had to go help my dad work. We have like a contract with a like laundry mat, and so we had like an emergency. We had to go take care of like 5 or 6 washers like that day, and so I went into work even though I was supposed to be off. And it was 10:30 in the morning. I was just texting Gage. I was like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to like go home, clean up, head to Tulsa." And I got a snap from like 4 people. They were already drinking outside the venue at 10:30, and I was like, "It's going to be a rowdy show tonight." And then it did end up being a rowdy show. Gage and I both got pretty rowdy during that show. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting rowdy at Kane's.
That's funny.
Be ready for the New Year's show. It's going to be part 2.
Who's playing? Where y'all going for New Year's?
Kane's.
We're going back to Kane's.
So it's Wyatt, Lance Rourke, and the Damn Quails.
Awesome.
So-
Lance Rourke is another artist. We played a show together in Georgia, and he is awesome. I really like him, and him and his wife were very, very nice. Oh, they were at the Wyatt Flores show whenever we played there. Actually, I saw them there, which that's so cool. Whenever you see it, like that's the coolest thing about going and watching other artists or like playing festivals is it's kind of there's a lot of camaraderie between artists, and it's cool to see other people's support, especially locals because they're from the same place, you know. But.
That's like whenever I saw Turnpike, they had a 3-night run at the end of last year at Billy Bob's, and the second night Lance Rourke was opening, and another artist, Palmer Anthony. Me and him have kind of created a friendship as well, and that's who I proposed on stage at. It was during one of his songs, and he texted me. He was like, "Hey, I'm here at Billy Bob's. Did you come to the show?" I was like, "Yeah, we're sitting over here." And my now fiance, she had knee surgery, so poor girl, she was sitting there crutching through Billy Bob's, sold out.
Oh, no.
And then the next night, I bought pit tickets, so she was down there sitting like right up against the railing and just miserable out of her mind. She had to leave early because she couldn't take the pain. So, but anyways, he texted me. He came over and was just bought a couple beers and just sitting there catching up. And it's like it's nice to see other artists at these shows and all that, and continuing to build that friendship with different artists. So
I love that. I believe Lance wrote a couple songs for Turnpike.
Chipping Mills.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Chipping Mill.
Okay, is that right? Cool. Very cool.
Because he plays in RC's band that he has on the side, RC and the Ambers. He played guitar for them for quite a while. Because I didn't know, I went and saw RC and the Ambers, and I didn't realize, it didn't click who it was. RC Edwards, and I recognized Lance, and then I understood that it was like RC Ambers, like from Turnpike, and I was like, just came here by complete accident. So,
oh yeah.
But, we ask everybody that comes on what their go-to road trip snacks are. And we try to bully them into telling us their favorite Pringle flavor because we're trying to get sponsored by Pringles.
Okay, nice.
Long-term goal.
My favorite road food is. Hold on, I forgot the brand. I have it in here.
This is. I feel
Same
like we're just doing another.
Tracer.
Yeah, we're just doing another podcast.
Yo, I am not the best person to ask this because if I eat like shit on the road, I literally get sick. So I try to eat. This is all I eat. Sponsor me, Old Trapper beef jerky.
Oh,
I eat this. I'm gonna eat it right now. And also, I eat like bananas and apples and stuff. Because what's the longest road trip y'all have ever been on?
Not a full week, probably.
Okay. What about?
are we talking like
Tracer?
just driving?
Yeah.
So about 14 hours.
Okay. What about you?
5.
5? You gotta get out of Oklahoma. You know what's crazy? I've literally never been anywhere before I started touring. Like, I've been to like 27 states or something crazy now. I don't think I'd ever left Texas before I started touring. So, I get that, but you have to. Are you going to?
Yeah. Eventually.
We'll start with Texas.
I lived in Kansas up at Manhattan, going to school at K-State for 3 years.
Oh, nice.
And so I visited Nebraska once, bucked off a bull, and never went back. I go to Missouri a lot because, like, you know, where I'm at is like an hour from Missouri, so I go to Missouri every once in a while. But most of the time, I just stay here in my little realm of Oklahoma.
What's your dream vacation?
Oh, where is Whitewater Amphitheater at?
That's New
Braunfels.
Braunfels, Texas.
Yeah, I want to go there because
right
isn't it on the ocean or on the bay or what's
River?
there's water there, right?
It's on the San Marcos River, or maybe not the San Marcos River, but it's on the river.
So
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go there because I was really wanting to go to see Whiskey Myers there a couple years ago when they did their album release party, but work stuff kept me from going. And then that's kind of become like a dream like venue to go visit because I've just never got the chance. But I also have been big on I want to go to the ocean because I've never seen the ocean. So that's my next big trip is to go see an ocean.
Wait, what ocean do you want to go to?
I don't really care. I'll just some
go
ocean.
To California. If you want to go see, if you haven't seen the ocean and you're gonna go out of your way, like at least in America, you got to go to the Keys or you got to go to California.
Okay.
Are you gonna take my advice?
Probably.
Okay, hell yeah.
We'll get him on a plane sometime.
Out of your way to see the ocean, not like on your way somewhere. You should go to a beautiful ocean because seriously, like I'll never forget the first time I saw the ocean. I love the ocean. I've recently, with having a child, like become obsessed with the ocean. You know, she loves mermaids. We went to the biggest aquarium in the United States in Monterey, California, and I'm like hyper fixated on the ocean right now. So I hope you get to do that soon.
Have you played the what is it, the Mile Zero Fest out there in the Keys?
I played this year.
So how was that?
I played this year. I actually play in January.
You play this year. Okay. That's one place that's one of my dream like concert festivals to go to.
Heck yeah, I'm so excited. I actually just went to Florida for the first time on a run with Red Clay Strays. And I love Florida.
Ooh.
So I'm so excited to go to Mile Zero.
What was that like? We're all big Red Clay Stray fans, especially after that last album they released. That was amazing.
Yeah. I'm going to be completely honest, y'all. I didn't even... Okay. Which I lied. I lied on Instagram. I was like, Red Clay Strays is my favorite band. I'm going on tour with them. And I didn't even know that much about them. Went on tour with them. Fell in love with them. They were also super freaking nice. They are so down home. They were so inviting. Their tour manager was like honestly, so I've opened for like quite a few bands. And a lot of the time, they just like don't care about you. Like, to tell you the truth, a lot of the time, and they don't have to care. They're paying you to come and play a show, which that's just the reality. Everybody's busy. Touring is hard. People are busy. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. Literally, Y'all, they were so accommodating. Like, the tour manager checked on me every single day, made sure I had everything on my rider, like, made sure we knew when sound check was, made sure that I knew if anything was changed. Like, just like, even just coming up and saying, hey, do you need water? Do you need anything? Like, are you drinking anything? Like, so freaking nice. And anyways, so I also love their show. He's so eccentric. He's super cool. Like, their band is super tight. They've been playing together for like 7 years. And then whenever their new album came out, I was like, I'm literally sold. Like, this is actually my favorite band now. I manifested that by lying about it in the first place.
You just knew ahead of time. You saw the future.
I knew ahead of time, right? But yeah, no, it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And so
what was your question originally? Because that wasn't even what we were talking about.
I think we just went down a chain.
Oh.
Yeah, we started at road snacks. And then
Okay.
Welcome to the tape deck. Nothing makes sense.
Little tangents. That's all it is.
All right, wait, we need to go down to Alison and Gage really quick. Alison, what's your dream vacation? Where do you want to go if you take a road trip?
Ooh, so I've been on a couple road trips. Right now, actually, I'm planning a trip to Ireland next year, and I'm trying to hit up New Zealand at some point in the next year too. So I'm more of a airplane kind of gal. If it's over 8 hours, Tracer's shaking his head. He's not quite there yet.
That's awesome. My dream is to go to Switzerland.
Are you big into skiing? Like snow skiing?
I snowboard, actually. Yeah. I when I was like 18, I worked on a ski resort in Colorado, so I really like snowboarding and stuff. So, but honestly, I didn't even think about that in Switzerland. I just saw this little car thing. Have y'all seen this? The car thing that goes down the mountain in Switzerland, and it's like you press it to go, and it's like a little car, and it's on railroad tracks.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that.
I think I saw it on a GoPro advertisement like 10 years ago, and I've always wanted to do that. So that'll be really cool for you to go to New Zealand and stuff. I feel like it's similar. But all right, you Gage.
Yeah, I mean, because I just love going to concerts. Like, if I'm going on a vacation, like, first thing I'm sitting there looking up is like, all right, who's playing around here? So if I was going solely on concert based, I would probably go up to Tennessee to the Caverns and go try to catch a concert there. I try to make it a normal to go to Red Rocks every year. So that's probably one of my favorite venues ever. But if I'm going solely for vacation, I would love to go to like Hawaii, maybe like Bahamas, just like go wake up at 10 a.m., sit on the beach with a pina colada or something, and just chill out, not have a care in the world. And yeah, or of course, Montana. That's another dream place that I want to go. So.
Absolutely. Okay, wait. Now I have to know what y'all's favorite venues are, because I've never been to Red Rocks.
Ooh.
So what are y'all's?
I went to Red Rocks for the first time in May to see Wyatt Flores and Turnpike. And so now that one's my favorite.
It is?
It was, I
what
just
makes it your favorite?
I think, part of it is the situational and like sentimental value for me. So I just got on a plane and went there by myself, stayed with a friend in Denver and ended up seeing people at the show that I knew. So that was a good time. And I mean, the crowd is very interactive, but also fairly mellow. There's not a bad seat there. The scenery around you is beautiful. People are like tailgating in the parking lot, like taking in the views. So yeah, it was an all around good time.
Wait, is it surrounded by mountains?
Surrounded by like a canyon type rock. If you've seen like Garden of the Gods, it's very similar.
Okay, I knew like the venue is within the rock. Like that's what makes the sound of so special. But the parking lot is in a canyon?
Yeah, it's all those rocks are just all over kind of the venue, and you're going into Red Rocks is a park too, so you can go hiking up there. You can go see different sites around the amphitheater.
Nice, I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Red Rocks is my favorite. The first time I went there was, I believe 22, maybe. It was either 2021 or 2022, whenever Turnpike first got back together. I went to their first show there, and then whenever I caught you in Denver, we worked there in Colorado for maybe 3, 4, 5 months. So like I went and saw Jason Isbell, Whiskey Myers 2 nights, and then I saw Tyler Childers there back in September. And my biggest like tip is, if you're gonna go there for your first time, sit more towards the top, because at night you can see the Denver skyline and all the lights kind of like
Really?
over the stage and everything. And it's one of those places where it doesn't matter who you see. It's a very magical moment and place.
Why would you say it's your favorite? Like, what makes it so magical? Because I feel like I can't tell in pictures. Like, everybody loves Red Rocks, but
I think it's just
why
the
do you-
atmosphere. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's so kind and sweet, and it's just a very historic place. And I think everybody's just there to really enjoy music. It's not one of those of, it's not a huge party, or it's not this. It's just like a very chill, kind of mellow concert. And then of course, Whiskey Myers comes out playing Gasoline, everybody's fired up. They play Frogman, everybody's fired up.
Yeah.
Broken Window Serenade, it's like dead silence until Cody Cannon steps away from the mic, and then you just hear everything bouncing off the rocks and coming back down. And it's hard to explain, but once you go to a concert there, you will very understand it.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I need to go. I need to figure out who I want to see there first, so that I can have the best Red Rocks experience. But that's awesome. Tracer, you didn't go yet.
Yeah, I was trying to think, because I haven't been to a whole lot of places to see shows outside of like the Tulsa area.
Well, where's
and
the
like,
place
as
you
much
want to go?
definitely Red Rocks. It's my goal that the next time Turnpike plays Red Rocks, I'm gonna make it, because I've missed it twice now, due to more important things going on in my life. So it's become top priority now. I'm gonna catch Turnpike at Red Rocks.
I gotta tell y'all. Okay.
I was gonna say my favorite venue. I really want to say the Mercury, because going there for the first time was like very special to me. Especially being a huge Turnpike fan. You hear about the Mercury, you hear about the corner booth, you hear about the shot and a beer for a 5 spot. And it was the first concert I ever went to by myself. No one went with me. I just hopped in the truck, drove down to Tulsa, which was a big deal for me at that point in time. I really wasn't comfortable doing that kind of thing. So that was a really, really cool night. I saw Quaker City Nighthawks. I had no idea who they were. I just went and saw. I just bought, like, I was like, I've heard of them. That was it. And I went and saw them. They were pretty good. They were great. But it was just the more of the atmosphere of being in somewhere that I felt was like I'd always wanted to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that place is sick.
Mm-hmm.
We played the Mercury, and I was like, this place is so cool. It reminded me, if y'all probably will never come through here, but if you ever do, there's a place called Blaine's Pub, and it's been around for, I'm gonna say 100 years, but I know that's an exaggeration. But it's like feels super local, and just like, that it's the place in town where all the cool people see the cool bands, So yeah, I love the Mercury. That's awesome.
That's the only venue in San Angelo, isn't it? Blaine's Pub.
Well, now we actually have a big venue, Cooper's Barbecue, right outside of town, and they have like 3,000 cap. God, these are not factual information. This is me guessing in my head. But no, it's like a huge venue. It can hold a lot of people. And we've had that for like a couple years now. And then there's like a few other ones downtown, but Blaine's is like the main spot where everybody's played. Like, if you go in there, there's pictures of like Co and Parker when they were young, Ragweed, freaking like everybody actually. So Yeah, it's pretty cool. Y'all might want to make a little pit stop there one day.
I've heard
yeah.
Aaron Watson talking a lot about it back in his day, because I want to say
Really?
he's right around that area, like Buffalo Gap and everything.
Yeah.
I think he's out that way.
Mhm.
So I've heard him talk about Blaine's Pub, and it's one of those
Nice.
places everybody plays. So
Yeah, definitely.
Wrote
I
it
was going to
down.
tell y'all before we switch the subject, if there's one dream place, and it's not necessarily a venue, but if there's one dream festival that I really think y'all would absolutely love, it's Big Sky Festival in Whitefish, Montana. Have y'all, Sierra Farrell rode her horse on the stage this year? I wasn't there this year, but we played 2 years ago, and it was amazing. Like, it's massive, first of all, but everybody's just like on picnic tables. It's kind of a chill listening area, but then you have the pit where people are getting crazy, so it feels like the crowd really likes the music and stuff. But towards the back, there's lots of kids. There's like a forest, and people can just put hammocks and lay down and hang out, and it was super cool. And it's in Montana, so it's just beautiful.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you played Laurel Cove this year, didn't you?
That's my second favorite. And people say it should be my first, but it's my second. I love Laurel Cove. That was a really interesting experience. That was the first time I ever realized, to be completely honest, like where I'm at in Texas, the kind of like the heroes of our area or whatever, like the OGs are like Cross Canyon Ragweed, Randy Rogers, like the real Texas country sound. I don't know, Mike Ryan, Casey Donahue, like that vein right there. I did not realize. I mean, I understood Tyler Childers was huge. I understand everybody loves him. But when I went to Laurel Cove, I was like, this is Tyler Childers' audience. This is like Appalachia. Like, this is the people who, like, the string music, the bluegrass, like, and it was so sick. People were obsessed with Tyler Childers there. And I thought that was so, so cool. I also, like, when he put out that last record, I kind of was like, I'm not that familiar with this type of music. Like, this isn't really the vein of country that I understand and know and is like home to me. And when I went up there, I was like, this is who he made that record for. Like, these people, this is what they do. This is what they love. And actually, his vocal coach played at the festival. So, like, I guess some people he had grown up with and stuff like that, but I don't know. I thought that was really cool. That was like my first kind of experience with like true Appalachian people and Appalachian music, which I thought was really sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Y'all should go there. Y'all should definitely go there. It's really cool. Also, Kentucky is so freaking beautiful. That's like probably my favorite state.
That's really cool that you could just like feel it just by going there.
Yeah.
Well,
and, like,
people are talking about it. Everybody was talking about it. Like Tyler Childers was like everywhere there. And then like, okay, so his old vocal coach, I guess, is married to someone else who's maybe grew up with him. Once again, not factual information, but they played. And so everybody was talking about like how that was his vocal coach. And oh my God, it might not even been a vocal coach. It might have been his like elementary school teacher. I don't know. Now I feel like I'm second guessing the information that I know. But anyways, it was like people he had grown up with. And so everybody there was just like talking about Tyler Childers. And there was also like other bands there that I hadn't heard of that were playing like true Appalachian music. And so it was very much like Tyler Childers centric there at the festival. So yeah. And like some of the artists there too, like did a bunch of artwork for him. And so there's like pictures of Tyler Childers and stuff everywhere. But yeah, it was really cool.
Man, would that be weird to go to a venue or a place and see a bunch of like artwork of you somewhere? Like if you were seeing
I cannot imagine that. That's what I'm saying. Like to me it felt like I personally don't know that I had ever been exposed to Appalachian music until Tyler Childers went mainstream. I don't think I really knew what that was now that I'm thinking about it. And so it's kind of interesting to see he's like the founder of making that mainstream. And so he's kind of like a god there, which I think was really interesting to see in person. So no, yeah, it was really cool.
That could be, another topic that we talk about in future episodes, because we've mentioned how Ragweed, Randy Rogers, and like a bunch of these guys who kind of paved the way, paved the sound and everything in the Texas Oklahoma region, Childers kind of paving it for Appalachia and all that out that way. That's really neat. I'd never really thought about that until you said it.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't either. That's why it was so interesting to see. And I'm sure, I don't know if y'all have talked about this, but I kind of feel that way about Zach Bryan opening the doors for a lot of people in that vein. Like, it was really interesting to see what Zach Bryan did to country music, and not to, what's it called? Float his boat. I don't know. Not to put him in the air too high, but I think Zach Bryan changed the course of country music forever. Like,
No, 100%.
I feel, earlier when I was talking about my EP being so raw and all that, and then like getting so popular and it felt very lucky, I feel like a main reason for that was because Zach Bryan was so popular and people were searching for music that was like that. And I think that he paved the way for a lot of artists that were doing that, like me and, several others.
Hey, you see the people that he's got opening for him now are even very well established artists that are getting introduced to a completely different group and crowd that had never heard that before. So yeah, no, it's super interesting, and to see how he's risen, so high in the past couple of years is also crazy.
Well, I mean, he's brought Charles Wesley Godwin up with him. He's brought one of my favorites, J.R. Carroll, up with him. So he's done a lot for the world of like country music, and he really turned it on its head because in the last 3 years, I mean, you've been able to see the transition, especially on radio, kind of away from like the pop sound that it was going towards to like allowing artists like Wyatt Flores, Sam Barber, a couple other ones to make kind of more mainstream pushes. Because I heard the other day, I was in my work truck driving, and a Wyatt Flores song came on the radio station, and it was a radio station that I'd never dreamed would play Wyatt Flores because it's normally more of that other sound. So that was a really good thing, I felt like, and a lot of that can be attributed to Zach, I believe.
Dude, that is very true. That's awesome.
Which I also feel like 49 Winchester is getting ready to set the world on fire. Like, they just need that like one little break. And like 49 is going to be up there. They're just such. I mean, you go back and listen to some of their albums. I mean, they are tight. They're top tier, and like they are primed for it. But that's just another random thought.
Okay, here's my thought on that. Is I feel like Red Clay Strays might really open that door into the mainstream for a lot of bands, because I know y'all saw my tweet the other day where I was talking about how it feels like everyone is very, and I feel like this has a lot to do with like TikTok, Instagram, like social media promotion. Everyone is focused on the front man. I mean, that's how you get famous in today's world. You've got to make these TikTok videos. You've got to create a brand. You've got to become a personality, all of this. And what I think is really incredible about Red Clay is they're a band. A lot of people don't even know the lead singer's name. They are branded as the Red Clay Strays. And I think they're going to see mainstream success. I mean, they already have, but they're going to see major mainstream success. And if they can pave the way that Zach Bryan did, that might really push a lot of those other bands up in the way that Zach Bryan did or Tyler Childers did. And I think that is really cool because, it's weird how like stuff moves in waves. People are going to catch on to the Red Clay Strays being huge, and they're going to be like, what other bands? Like, what other rock bands? What other people are doing this same thing? So
that's what's really awesome about that is you have Childers who took his way with, a different sound. And then you had Zach Bryan take it with a different sound. And now we have the Red Clay Strays with a different sound. So we have 3 different sounds that kind of, it's just kind of spider web, kind of like, root system out to a lot of other different bands and everything.
Mm-hmm.
In this era of the world where we're living in, where we currently have access to millions of artists like at our fingertips, it's becoming more easy to find people. I mean, like, I'll just turn on my phone and set it down and like just let it play, and I've found a lot of artists, that way, just letting it play,
Yeah.
So we're definitely at that era in time.
Yep.
So I saw, actually, speaking of bands, I saw you tweeted maybe a couple weeks ago how a lot of artists don't write songs with their bands anymore. And
Yeah.
so you've had a band. Have you guys been together for a while, or do you have a lot of changeover with your band?
So, oh my gosh, that's a long story. A big part of the reason that I haven't put out music and stuff is I feel like I've been torn in all these different directions of people telling me what to do. And honestly, from the whole start of my career, I always wanted to have a band, and I wanted them to be a big part of my project, which I do write all my songs. Like, the words are coming from me, but I am not a very versed musician. I'm not super, I can play acoustic guitar. That's what I do. Okay. But I need a band to create a sound, to create, a project, to do all of that. And I went into the studio like 3 separate times with different producers, and I recorded a lot of music, and I used studio musicians. And honestly, I've thought about that tweet a lot because for some reason it was kind of controversial. And for me personally, studio musicians are very talented. They're very good at what they do. But all of the music that came out of those studios felt insanely generic. Like, it felt like they were playing 4 chords over and over again to a click track, and there was no feel, there was no parts, there was nothing interesting. It didn't feel like me. It just felt like formulaic, And I think that that's like a huge part of why Red Clay has gotten so big and why their album is so successful and why it's so different is because they're a band. Like, they have very uniquely put every bit of each player into a project. And there's nothing formulaic about it. It's all kind of been built over time, and it all has influences from different people, and every one of those musicians is influenced by different people, and it brought all of that into the project. And I want that. I have a band right now that I've had for about a year, and my new album that I'm finishing this week, please God, I hope I finished it this week. It's been ongoing for a while, but it's all my band, and they've all written their own parts, and I think it's just a lot more unique than the other stuff that I've done, and it feels like the songs are true to themselves because the members all know the songs, they didn't learn them that day, they didn't go play them in 2 hours, they all like wrote parts that feel right. We've performed these songs over and over again, so they really understand the songs, and I just think that's important. But here's where I take back what I said, because everybody was bitching at me saying whatever, is you also take people like Chapel Roan, who I've been listening to non-freaking stop, and I understand, like, there is a lot of music that came from producers and writers that weren't made with bands, and that's super fucking cool. But what I'm talking about is people like me and 49 Winchester and Red Clay Strays and Whiskey Myers. Like, that music could not form if you didn't have a band that like loved each other and put all of their time and put a lot of energy into these projects,
Yeah, no, that's completely valid, I think.
So also with this next rock and roll album that I have in my mind, it's not on paper yet, but it will be my band, and I'm really excited. Like, this one will actually be, so I wrote all these songs before I met my band, and then they kind of made them what they are. But this time, they're going to like actually kind of be a part of building the songs and building the album, which I'm really excited about because they'll have even more kind of creative influence in the project.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be really cool to kind of listen to that genre shift and kind of hear him back to back and see, you know, kind of as a little social experiment, maybe.
Yes. I'm so excited to do something different, honestly. I feel like, which I may kind of transition. I can't ever probably leave country music, but I think I've played country music and listened to country music so long that I'm like ready to just kind of experiment with something new to me, kind of just to pique some passion and interest, you know? Because sometimes it's just easy to get burnt out creatively when you're doing the same thing for a long time.
Look at like Sturgill Simpson. I mean, he has like 2 albums that are very country-esque, and then he has a badass like folk album with I blanked on the name of it. But yeah. And then you have Sound and Fury, which was my introduction to Sturgill. And I was like, what is this masterpiece? And then he went and did the anime thing with it, which is a whole different like ballpark. But yeah, like he's somebody like him that experiments with his sound. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think another thing that I've found interesting to me is like, I've always thought I wanted to find my sound. And that's like something that we talk about a lot as music critics, enjoyers, and makers is like finding your sound. But I think that puts an artist in a box. Like, I feel like you don't ever really have to find your sound because people go through phases just like people do with their work lives or their lives with children or their family lives or whatever. People go through phases of like what they like, what they're influenced by, what they want to do. And that's something that, like, honestly, when I heard Chapel Roan, I was like, I want to be more like her. It was like actually something clicked. She's been probably the artist that I have been most impacted by in the last 10 years. I'm not even shitting you. Have any of y'all listened to Chapel Roan?
I see, yeah, in the grocery stores and videos every now and then. Yeah, I definitely respect what she's got going on because it looks insane.
I would love for y'all to literally go on a little TikTok venture looking at what she's doing right now. She's incredibly creative. She's an incredible performer. Her songs are interesting. Like, they're interesting. The way they're written, the way that they're done is just really interesting. And I really thought, I just want to be more fun. Like, right now, in this phase of my life, the last 4 years of my life, I've been singing sad fucking songs. I've been fucking sad. And I just want to have more fun in my life. And so with this next album, like, I want it to be more fun. I want it to be fun to perform and just be more upbeat. I'm so tired of crying.
That's the name of the rock album is I'm Tired of Crying.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, do y'all have any more questions?
One more. Our last question. What are 5 songs that you have on repeat?
5 songs that I have on repeat right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hot to Go by Chapel Roan. Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. Red Wine Super Boba by Chapel Roan. I'm not even shitting y'all. All I've been listening to lately is Chapel Roan. I wish. Let me think really hard of like a country song that I could.
Doesn't have to be country.
No,
it could be anything.
Well, for the listeners, guys, that's all I've been listening to. I did listen to the new Post Malone album. Did y'all listen to it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think. I don't know what you're pointing to. It cuts off. There it is. Oh my god. Is that a picture?
It is. My best friend got me that for my birthday.
That's amazing.
Jinx.
So that's an old picture?
It is. Yeah, it's old. Wow. She got that for me years ago. But no, I listened. Well, did y'all listen to it?
Yeah, no, we did an album review on it. So I think the 3 of us kind of did a deep dive.
What was y'all's favorite song?
Mine was, I think, the Billy Strings one. Oh, yours.
Really?
Yours, the one about his daughter.
Yeah, I don't even have a kid, and I was like getting teared up listening to yours. So
I actually
gotta
don't think I
though.
listened to that one. I need to listen to that.
Go-
What about you, Gage?
It's a good one.
Mine was the Mexico with
Yeah.
Billy Strings. I just love everything about Billy and what he does. It's just fascinating to sit there and watch and
Yeah.
hear and listen.
Fuck yeah.
Still, after listening to his song with Hank Williams Jr., I'm still fully convinced that him and Hank Williams Jr. are related, and I'm gonna prove it at some point in time. Whether it's the end of me or not, I'm gonna prove that.
Y'all, I need to take a second look at the Billy Strings song. My favorites were Dolly Parton and Hardy.
The Hardy one was
thought those
unexpected.
sounded really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, my favorite song has been I Had Some Help. I mean, I know that was like the first single, but I think that's the best song on the album for me. So
I've been
but I'll
jamming
go
to that.
check
Yeah.
out Billy Strings. Yeah. It's just an easy listen. My dad bought a boat for the first time in my life this year, so it's a boat song.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All
I think
right.
that's all we got.
Well, thank
Love
you for
it.
coming on and talking to us.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
I'm glad I got to come on.
We'll send the
Gage,
outro.
you want to outro us?
So, go follow Kat on all of her socials: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everything, anything and everything that you can find. Go buy some merch. Go support her. Go to a live show. And I think with that being said, we've had all we can handle. I hope you're happy now. Good night.
She's my